Hi everyone, welcome back to another stream. Hope you're all doing well. Hey Drac, good to see you. And Scorpio as well. And Mist. Yeah, should be good. Hey, cool, good to see you. Yeah, so today we're going to do some Clementine PSU. Main reason for that is because they apparently added a new quest recently. That is a tower. And as anyone who's watched for a while will know, if there's a tower, I need to go there. So plan today is we're just going to do some PSU today. I think on Wednesday will be the birthday stream, and it'll probably just be Front Mission 3. And then next Sunday will either be PS0 or PSO, depending on if the Ifania event gets announced or not. So I'll work that out a bit closer to the time. People may also have noticed as well that a premiere has gone up on the YouTube channel for the 21st of December. That is the PSO 25th anniversary video, which I finally finished working on today. So that will go live as a premiere for everyone on the 21st of December, which is a Sunday. That'll go live at 4 PM GMT, but then it will go... Then there'll be a live stream later in the night as well, like the normal time. So you'll get a video earlier in the day and then a live stream later. The live stream on the 21st will obviously be PSO as well. So yeah, it took a long time to work on that video, so I'm very glad it's finished. So as usual, if anyone does want to play on Clementine, like Drac here for example, we play on Clementine server, feel free to join us. I think we're going to be checking out the tower quest today, whatever that entails. First, a quick dance. Because are you really playing PSU if you don't dance? I need to remember what that pause is that he's doing. Oh, that's the Ethan pause, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, these are all Ethan pauses. I think that's Leo, I think. That's Nav. There we go. We got there eventually. So I've had a look at the wiki, and apparently this new quest is at the Files Memoria. So I guess we need to go there first. So can I fast travel there? Have I been there before? Is that something I can do? I can, thankfully. You're kidding me, they put a tower in the one towerless game. Quits. Yes, they have apparently added a tower. So can I go Files Memoria? I can. Yeah, there is a thing on the right hand side, it's just under my camera. It says the tower. Current floor 1, towers cleared 0. So yeah, for better or for worse, they have added a tower to Clementine. I mean, the good thing is at least we have to come to this lobby. So even when we're not playing PSO, we're still in PSO. Yeah, good to see you killing the as well. I also can't help noticing that there is a yellow dot where Rico used to be. I mean, I need to check this. Is that the quest counter? I was hoping for something more. Right, I'm just going to leave first because I do want to speak to Leo first and just see what he has to say. Having flashbacks with that tower. Yeah, I mean, I'm very glad they put this lobby in PSO in PSU. It does look a little bit different, but it's, I mean, it's not a bad representation of it. Okay, so you are just a gas counter and a GC counter. Okay. Well, I guess we'll see what this tower entails then. The tower 1 to 5. There is no description or anything. I also don't appear to be able to choose a rank for it. It just... everything is 200 plus. So I guess it is designed for the high level players, which, you know, knowing Clementine is no surprise. So, I mean, I guess we'll just start. Yeah, 180 plus characters as well, yeah. Is this a bad time to tell you that I've just switched over to Fortnite Fighter and have some low level PS? I do have some high level stuff as well, though, so. Everything on Clem is designed for high level characters. It kind of feels that way. They've made it a bit easier recently with some of the level up quests, but yeah. A lot of the interesting stuff is definitely aimed at higher level. I mean, I guess, Drac, I guess we'll just start this and see what it's like, and then if people do want to join us, we can restart. You made 3 new characters yourself recently. And we're off to a strong start with Ignite Infinity as the music. So you're saying you had a new player experience. That's pretty sick looking speed. I'm pretty sure this is in PSO 2. And this is really funny. So this is I've actually got God Hand equipped, but you can't see it. I guess so it's like PSA, you can't see it. So I can just beat things up. Nux is so good. Yeah, I really like Knuckles in PSU. Right, let's try tower then. Transcend the tower. Yeah, miss. So this this map is from PSP 2. They've done that on Clementine a little bit, where they've added a few PSP 2 maps. Oh, that's a good start. I got sniped immediately. The issue with the robots in PSU is when they try exploding, you can't sort of evade out the way of them. So you just eat it. I wonder if these enemies are buffed as well. I think I touched the fence there. Yeah, so don't touch the fences at all. The fences do like 2,500 damage. The fence is big, it is. Did they ever fix that issue where some maps had no audio? Like, I don't even think sound effects worked on one map. I'm not sure. And PSU is like kind of notoriously buggy, so it wouldn't surprise me if that still exists. Wait, oh, that's actually really nasty. And of course you can't destroy them. So those turrets in the corner are doing barter, but all the enemies in here are fire, so you have to equip fire armor to not die to the enemies, but then you take more damage from the turrets. It's cool to have had a PSP2 maps. Yeah, I really like it. I mean, I think they look pretty good in PSU, honestly. Okay, so what we've got in here, is it just enemies? No, there is a massive crusher in the middle that we couldn't see. Yep, there is certainly a trap. Just feels somewhat unfair that you can't see the trap. I mean, I guess if you use first person, you could look at it. This sounds like every PSO2 song. Yeah, the funny thing is though, that this isn't a PSO2 song. It might sound like a PSO2 song, but it's not a PSO2 song. This is the title theme of PSP2 Infinity. But I get what you mean though, it's definitely got that vibe to it. Yeah, this is Ignite Infinity. PSU and PSO soundtracks are something special. Yeah, I mean, the PSO soundtrack in particular I've always really, really liked. This is going well. But if you ignite Infinity, won't it burn forever? It's a very philosophical question, that. I mean, that didn't touch me, but... I mean, the game disagrees, apparently. Where is the tower? This is the tower. Okay, I was wondering when the traps would start. Oh, where is it as in the lobby? It's in the Phasma Moria. Oh, these things do so much damage. And I'm not low level. I'm level 192. Yeah, they've just added this recently, in the last few days. So I thought, let's try this out today. So in the next few streams are probably going to be largely dependent on what happens with Affinia. So I am expecting the Christmas events to start in the next week or two, most. Seems to usually be about mid-December it starts, so... I don't know if there's any changes on the event, Pika, but we're kind of expecting the Christmas event to start soon. What are you going to hunt these days since you've got SGS? It's a good question. I mean, there is a few things that I kind of want, but I mean, I've definitely found the main thing I wanted to get, so... I wouldn't mind just using it to level some characters as well, honestly. Because there's still a few section IDs I've never really had a high level character for, so... It'd be nice to play with IDs I'm not that familiar with. How did they add stuff? Was it already a level and they imported it or built it from scratch for Clementine? I'm not sure, honestly. I mean, this map is from PSP2, the portable game. So they've clearly got some way of being able to import it from PSP2 into Clementine, into PSU. As for how they do that, I have no idea. That was one flaw. Okay, Koltovas are more my speed. We can deal with these. It's time we got cow tipping. I imagine they ran on the same underlying engine and just migrated the tile sets over. Right, I heard a trap there. But it's really cool that they can use the maps from things like the portable games. Gives them a lot more to work with. That's very weird. So this guy is fire elemental, or he does ice techs. That was a hell of a trap. It does ice techs, but wasn't doing a lot of damage to me. As if it was doing fire damage. So he's doing ice techs that do fire? I'm very confused. Now if they bring in humans, I know it will never happen. It'd be cool if they could. Yeah, I don't see it happening, unfortunately, but it'll be cool. So what I'm learning with this is that all of the traps basically just kill you. See, that did barter then, it did virtually no damage. Sounds about right for tower traps. I guess they're trying to capture the feeling of PSO tower. The feeling of just everything killing you. The feeling of pain and suffering, yep, pretty much. I'm always happy to see new stuff get added to PSU though, or any of the games for that matter. Okay, that floor felt a little easier, apart from the traps that just one-shot you. Axe is putting in work. That floor felt a lot shorter. Is this the new tower level that people are talking about on Discord? It is. Would that have been a trap? Yeah, the traps are extremely devious. There's also that one in the roof as well. The crushers get you every time. The problem is they're hidden in the roof. Like, it goes into the roof and you can't see it. The song never stops. No, it is infinite. So enjoy listening to Ignite Infinity for the remainder of the stream. Unless it changes at some point. Yeah, that's the other thing, Drac. The hitbox on the crushers is very busted. Did that hit me? Like, excuse me? Like, play that one back. That hit me, yeah. apparently. It's going to change to nights. I mean, we can only hope. I can't see. I mean, Devon feels challenging so far. I mean, we are only using 2 people, obviously, but you can run this with 4. As long as it doesn't change to the peculiar persimmons. Well, if it does, the YouTube stream is not monetized for this stream. At the moment, I've been turning monetization off on the PSU streams just to avoid that. They might still issue a DMCA, but at least I can say, well, you're not getting any money anyway because it's not monetized. I did hear recently that apparently there's another multi-streaming service, which I can't remember the name of. And apparently that has an option to split the audio on YouTube, so maybe I'll look into that. Is that a minute I'm using Restream, but yeah, apparently this other service actually allows you to split off the audio on YouTube before it gets sent to YouTube. So people on YouTube just wouldn't hear the music. Item, that's it. That's the one I main, yeah. Yeah, I saw on a YouTube short someone mentioned that if you use item, apparently you can split off the audio. So I may look into using that instead. Obviously, because anyone who's watched for a while knows I've had several problems with Restream as well. It's very good for some stuff, but yeah, it is quite buggy. Why is there a rappy called Ugly and tried to mug me in the lobby? I have no idea. Item is a plugin, so you do the multi-streaming yourself instead of being relayed like Restream. Okay. Oh, we got Sure NU Plus. Has 11 light, which sucks. But we got Shoran. Oh, you talked to the Rappy as well. I will have to talk to it next time. Yeah, I did get a rare drop. Let's have a look at it. Yeah, sure, it looks really cool. I've always really liked how it looks. Did you play this first on PC or Xbox 360? 360 demo was great back in the day on the 4th floor. I played on PC, so a separate server. Yeah, I played it pretty much from launch until the day it went down, more or less. Maybe the Rappies of unionized, maybe. I'd also appreciate it if everyone could do a collective prayer for a PSO remaster at the Game Awards. We all know it's not going to happen. I think we do need a miracle at this point. So I kind of noticing that everything is fire. I don't know if it changes every run or if this is fixed. Yeah, that'll be it, won't it, Echo? We'll wait for a PSO remaster and all they'll give us is a Humor and Sonic Racing. Yeah, maybe it changes every few floors. We need a spiritual successor to PSO that isn't just jiggly physics like that one game. I mean, I don't really have issues with PSO 2 necessarily. I mean, I think it's no secret it's not my favourite Phantasy Star game, either PSO 2 base or NGS. Like, neither of them rank that highly for me. I like PSO 2. I like NGS, but they're never going to be up there with my favourite ones, just because they are so radically different from the games that I love. I mean, PSO 2 base in particular, still an incredibly successful game. Did you hear about the Phantasy Star TTRPG? Yeah, I haven't really bothered with it because I don't really play TTRPGs generally. But it's cool to see that we got that though. Best way to go would probably be to try a similar thing to PSU again. I've always said this, I feel that the whole PSO remaster or remake is a really awkward thing because, not even counting the new games that we've got at the minute that Sega are still running, I think the issue with PSO is because it's so well supported on private servers, it's like, is there really a need? Don't get me wrong, it'd be really cool to get a remaster or a remake, but part of me is like, the servers like Affinia are doing such a good job with it already. Is there a need? If Sega are watching, yes there is, do it. I'm quite glad that trap didn't hit me. Okay, we cleared 5 floors, so I'm guessing it's just split into 5 floors at a time, which is much better than how Zero does it, at least. I'm guessing we don't get any boxes because we're not at the top of the tower. PSO Remaster to me has a fatal possible issue, the modernization of it. It's difficult, isn't it, because you want to try and keep it true to the feel of PSO. Favorite anime? I don't watch a whole lot of anime. I think of the anime I have watched, probably Ghost in the Shell. Like the original Ghost in the Shell movie, probably. That probably dates me quite a bit. Hello, Pigger. I will send you an invite if I can look on you. They'd load it with microtransactions and give it the exact same problem PSO2 has. That is the risk, yeah. I wonder if we can take Pika because they should be on floor 1. We can have a look. I mean, I don't mind running floor 1 again if we need to. I also want to see this Rappy that you're on about. Oh, you got Conjuring missed. Oh, good luck. Right, where is this Rappy? Oh, is it behind this rock here? Ah, yes. You're ugly, you're disgusting, I'm gonna kill you, give me $200. Well, the first issue with that Rappy is we don't use dollars here. I think there's only one response to that. Standalone Complex is pretty good. Yeah, Standalone Complex is really good as well. I did try watching Standalone Complex 2045 as well, the one that's like 3D animated. I thought it was okay, but not that great. I prefer the original Standalone Complex. My POV, you were far away, drop-kicking Rappy. That was funny. I mean, it deserved it. I mean, it threatened to kill me. Well, it's saying tower 6 to 10. So I guess maybe... That's really weird. I mean, I guess we can try it and see if it works. I kind of thought we'd have to do 1 to 5 again. Unless Pika's already done 1 to 5. Well, we're back again. I was hoping the music would change again, but nope. So I really hope people like Ignite Infinity. Because you're going to be hearing a lot of it. What's the most amount of people you've seen on PSU at most? Same as about 75 people max online at one time. I've seen over 100 once or twice, usually during events. Outside of events, usually around 60 or 70, I would say. Okay, so we are still fire element stuff. New to PSU, but we've seen roughly 45 players peak. It might just be the times that you're playing. I mean, I'll check in a minute and see how many people are on. Back on Phantasy Star, I wouldn't mind seeing them revisit Ragdoll with something new. Maybe a sequel or a prequel. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I don't really want them to revisit the original RPGs because I do feel that Phantasy Star 4 capped off the Algol series perfectly. But I'd be cool with them doing something like a prequel or a sequel to PSO. Right, how many people are on? There are 75 on at the minute. And I don't think there's an event on at the minute, so... And this feels very similar to the last time. It's different enemies, but same traps and everything so far. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Build at Axe U+. Oh, nice one. It'd be nice if he stopped doing fight constantly. That would be cool. Maybe something that touches on Pioneer 1, or maybe how Falls was sealed on that ship and sent to Ragdoll. Yeah, that would be really cool. Or seeing Ragdoll fully developed after years would be cool. I mean, I guess with that, I guess the newest thing you've got to that is like PSO Episode 3, because that takes place about, is it 21 years? I think, is that 21 years after the events of PSO? But I guess you could do something that takes place after that, potentially. F3 ends with Pioneer 2 landing, yeah. So I guess then you could build on that, really, couldn't you? You could, after Pioneer 2 lands, I guess you could then do something that covers the actual colonization of Ragdoll. I'd love a remake to PSU. Imagine how many players would be on the servers again. A guy can dream. Yeah, as much as I'd like to believe, saying it's It's wishful thinking, I think, because, I mean, PSO hasn't even had a remaster yet, so... And I feel if any Phantasy Star is going to get a remaster, it's going to be PSO rather than anything else. But... Call it Ep 5, that's on brand. I mean, it's interesting that you say about the city building, Kulniath. As I'll talk about a bit in the 25th anniversary video. That's not far off what they were going for originally. Yeah, the original dev concept for PSO was extremely different. I won't go into it too much now because it'll be in the 25th anniversary video that I'm doing, but yeah, it was a very, very different game originally. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to the 25th anniversary video going live. Like I said, it's one I've been working on for quite a while, so... That's why I'm doing it as a premiere. I don't normally do premieres for my videos, unless it's like a really important one. Or I think this justifies it. Video, I thought you said deal. Oh, you got a god power. I think this is the room that has the really bad traps in the corners, so... I thought you were doing something with Sega. No, unfortunately, no. That seems to be something that's reserved for other NGS creators, apparently. You got another god power, okay. We're farming now. Forgot this isn't PSP 2, I can't dodge or parry. Yeah. The only option you've got in this is like just counters. I know what you mean though, I think because we're doing a PSP 2 map as well. Yeah, it's a pretty cool quest, honestly. I think it's good that they've added something like this for a bit of challenge for a higher level, I guess. Well, I appear to be stuck here. Thanks, Buildivar. That was one way to frame me, I guess. It does seem to go from like 0 to 100 very quickly, this game. Stuff either does nothing to you or just kills you. As much as I really like Ignite Infinity, I feel I may be getting tired of it by the end of the stream. Oof. Will it hit me here? No. Yeah, the hitbox is disgusting on the Crusher. It kind of sucks the enemies don't get hit by it. See, I've been playing NGS a bit recently, and I just tried to jump, so you're not the only one, Pika. I'm not sure if the PA experience is boosted this week, because I've leveled this PA 15 times already. Got to play more Guild Wars 1. Yeah, so we've been playing a bit of Guild Wars Reforged off stream. That was really fun, actually. I don't think it's a game I'll play on stream necessarily yet, but it's really fun to play though. I used to play it like 20 years ago when it first released. Yeah, a few of us played it for quite a few hours last night. It was a really, really fun time, actually. Although very difficult. I forgot how hard that game is. Did the first snow area mission on your warrior, and whoa, it was a long one. It was a huge map too. I remember some of the maps in it being really big. I was looking at some stuff on the wiki yesterday, just to try and figure out builds and stuff, and it was very nostalgic because as soon as I started looking up like how to get some of the elite skills later, I started to remember like all the enemy names and everything. Yeah, it's interesting because when Guild Wars 2 launched, I played that for a little bit, but for some reason I could never get into Guild Wars 2. You got a new armor and gear from the bonus chat command. I'll have to do that. God, Pika DC'd. Oof. I love my new internet provider. Oh, I'm so sorry. Mentioned it to Minsk in the Discord, and now played it a bit more. I can see why Drac likes it. There's a lot of flexibility and synergy between skills and even party members. Yeah. There is a ridiculous amount of skills in the game. Yeah, I used to play it pretty much from launch. I played a lot with my brother. I mainly stuck to Guild Wars Prophecies, but I know my brother played a lot of factions and Nightfall as well. It's funny because I was trying to think, why would I have only played Prophecies? Like, what could I possibly have been doing in 2005? And I was like, oh yeah, PSO Blue Burst. That escalated quickly. Yeah, I think I was very, very deep in PSO Blue Burst in 2005, so that probably explains why I only did Prophecies. God, these things suck. They like stun lock you. Can you not? Yeah, Guild Wars Reforged is really fun though, if anyone hasn't checked it out, or if they used to play the original Guild Wars. I think it is worth checking out. The only thing I'll say, and I said this on the voice call yesterday, but I really think the name is a bad name, because it does make a lot of people think that the game is a remaster, and it's not. Was Guardians Colony only on PSU, or did it feature any of the PSP games? Cool Hub City. I know it's not in PSP 2 because PSP 2 uses Clad 6 instead. I honestly, I can't remember if it was in PSP 1. It's been so long since I played through PSP 1. I genuinely can't remember what the Hub City is in PSP 1. It's the colony, but the hubs are just JPEGs, okay. Yeah, Guardians Colony is really cool. It's definitely one of my favourite hubs in Phantasy Star for sure. I don't think the fans for Guild Wars haven't helped. Look at the Steam reviews and people are praising how good the new graphics and gameplay mechanics are. What are they playing? Because the graphics kind of the same and there's no new mechanics, it's just controller support. Remember, you can scroll the JPEGs and click the icons of the shops and such. Oh, okay. I guess it makes sense for the portable game. They just touched on Guild Wars again quickly. I will say as well, it is very confusing to use all the counts and everything with it. The fact that they have a big flow chart on the website that tells you what you need to do is kind of ridiculous. I feel I could have simplified it. Not that I could use my old account anyway, because my old account apparently got hacked and banned, so cool. Yeah, Zale, this is Tower. I think we're almost done with this run, so if you want to join the next one, feel free. Okay, we are actually done with it. How often does the club get used in Clementine? I think they've used it for a couple of events. I think occasionally the events will start from there. Even on official servers, it didn't really get used that often, honestly. Like now and again, they'd use it for an event, but most of the time it was empty. This is a recurring thing that with Phantasy Star, because I know in PSO 2 as well, there was 2 rooms in the PSO 2 ship that just were never used for anything. They were there. Well, we'll try and invite Pika again. Managed to get one of the better scrapping kits on Guild Wars, so you've extracted some runes and such. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll have to use that command that Drac mentioned to see if it gives me some better gear, because that's my main problem at the minute. My gear is most of the starting gear, apart from a couple of bits I've upgraded. I noticed there isn't many cast players. Is that a stat reason? They're my favourite race. I don't think so. I can't really think of an obvious reason why the people wouldn't play cast. Maybe it's the fashion side of things. You know, a lot of outfits are for like the fleshy characters only. I mean, there are cast versions of a lot of them. But yeah, there's certainly no real downside to playing cast unless you want to do technique classes. I mean, feel free to do it for the memes, but yeah, if you run something like a cast Forte Tekka, It's going to be an experience. Yeah, I used to use a cast. I actually have a cast on Clementine as well. She's just not leveled properly yet. I use cast mainly for like ranger classes mostly. I mean, you can use anything in PSU. I mean, even on live service, I used a Newman Forte Fighter, which in PSU is not really the play, because Newmans kind of don't really do melee in PSU. But I did it. You join next game, need to do something. Yeah, no worries though. It does concern me somewhat that we're still quite low in the tower, and it's already quite difficult. Yeah, obviously with cast you get the SUV weapons as well, which is cool. I know you get the racial abilities on all the races on Clementine, but the SUV weapons are really cool. I really wish they would change the music now and again. Look, I love this song. I don't love it for a few hours straight. I'll do this one, and maybe if the next one is also Ignite Infinity, I might just load a Phantasy Star playlist on YouTube or something. Yeah, I'm really surprised they didn't just add the music terminal. Normally for a lot of the quests on Clementine now, they have like a terminal at the start waiting to change the music. Yeah, again a reminder, do not touch the fences. That's why I stopped playing Unsafe Passage, the music repeating was annoying. Yeah, I mean, I think PSU's soundtrack for the most part is really good, but there are certainly some songs that you do not want to hear and repeat. Most of the Contamination songs are quite repetitive after a while. Oh cool, I've at level 21 with this PS, I actually use the full thing now. I've always really liked this PA because the last part you just basically just sit on them. What's your favourite PSU planet? I think it's quite a hard one. So Drax's New Days. I do really like New Days. New Days definitely has some of the nicest areas for sure, like Mizuraki. I do kind of like Motube as well though. PSU OST is one of the few soundtracks I'll listen to on YouTube. That, Halo, and Silent Hill. PSU soundtrack is really, really good. I don't like how these guys can cast text and then just move around and the text stays there. Power until the end. So we've got a few people for each planet then. Well, at least Param fared better than the planet it's named after. Paul went out for Parma. I forgot how much I like Knuckles in PSU. They're really fun. It is honestly kind of impressive, like, when you play PSU and you realise that this is only a couple of years after PSO. Like, in some areas, it does feel like a massive step on from PSO. I mean, you could argue there's some areas it's a step back as well, but... Oh, you got a Tempest Cloak Mist, nice. Yeah, I think, is it Rare Monster Week on Affinia now? Okay, so that means it'll be RDR week next week. Maybe they'll start the Christmas event to coincide with RDR. Maybe. Conjurer didn't drop a Dialect Scar, oof. Yeah, I really like this P8. It just looks cool. I was expecting that Crusher to drop on me and hit me from the here. Never played PSO, but watching your videos I can see why it's people's favourite. It has a charm to it and the style's great. Yeah, for sure. I think the visual sort of aesthetic of PSO is something that, particularly at the time, I guess there wasn't really much similar to it. It's one of those games where the actual gameplay of PSO is extremely primitive. And I think if you've never played it, it might be quite hard to go back to. But if you can kind of look past the simplicity of that and just understand that, you know, it is a 20-odd-year-old game now, or almost 25. At its core, it is a really, really good game. How much health does that guy have? He says, as I punch it one more time and kill it. Visuals in PSO are better than PSU. PSU had an MMO feel to it. I just think it's a very different visual style. It's obviously... It's a bit of a move more towards realism in PSU. I still do really like the look of PSU, honestly. I think even PSU has definitely its own visual style. Well, I think, yeah, PSO's is so... It's just so different to a lot of other games that it's kind of unmistakable. You love how little visual pollution PSO has. Yeah, I think that is one issue I've got with some of the more recent Phantasy Star games. I think PSU is kind of the start of it. But particularly with like PSO2 and NGS, there is so much going on screen in those games that sometimes it's hard to see what is going on. Particularly in something like NGS where you get a PSE burst. And particularly if you're in an area that's got a lot of players, there'll just be effects going off all over the screen, and a lot of the time you can't even see where your character is. Now, they do give you options to tone down the visual effects for other players, which does help, but it's still a bit too much. That's my main gripe with NGS. I can't tell what's going on 50 to 70% of the time. Yeah, I do definitely agree with that. It's something that I'm surprised that more people don't complain about. It never really seems to be a problem for a lot of people, from what I can see, but I don't know, maybe people just like flashy effects, but for me, if there's too much going on, it just makes it really hard to follow what's actually happening. That's because modern audiences like, ooh, flashy lights. It does feel that way. They also enjoy 30-second content. That reminds me, I said a while back I was going to start doing YouTube Shorts, then just never did. I should really do that at some point. It's just finding content that's actually suitable for Shorts. When do you see them coming out with another Phantasy Star game? Hopefully it'll be closer to PSU than PSO2. I mean, assuming nothing gets announced at the Game Awards, which I think it's unlikely, but you never know. I think realistically the next chance, for me, I see the next chance as maybe 2027, because 2027 is the 40th anniversary of the Phantasy Star franchise as a whole. So that would be a good time to make a new game. By that time, NGS would be, what, 6 or 7 years old? Maybe that's a good time to move on to something else. I mean, if you look at comments online, I think some people would say that the best time to move on from NGS was about 5 years ago, but I don't necessarily agree with that, but yeah, Pika, I know a lot of people use clips for YouTube Shorts. I don't tend to take a lot of clips myself. Like, if I say something that I know might be a decent clip, I'll do it, but it's rare that I actually take clips myself. Sega is using AI now, so they've no excuse. New releases for all the franchises, all the money, all AI. Yeah, the only good thing about that statement that they said was that they did say that they were aware that AI is controversial in the creative field, so they're going to try and use it, bearing that in mind. So hopefully that means they only use it in certain workflows and not in anything on the creative side. I would prefer they don't use it at all, but I think that's not going to happen in 2025. AI does kind of feel like a cancer that's just got to a point where it can't be controlled anymore. Saying they're aware is saying nothing though. Yeah, I mean, we won't know until we actually see what they do. I had a horrible chill down my spine there, as I just thought, what if we get a PSO remaster and it's AI generated? Sega, if you're watching, don't do that. That, of course, yeah, that is the other side of AI, isn't it? The fact that for everything they use an AI for, someone is losing the job. I mean, I do want to be clear, I'm not completely against AI in the right areas. So, for example, in the medical field, there are certain uses for AI in the medical field that are legitimate. I've got no issue with that. I do have issues when it starts to come to the creative side in particular. Because I don't think someone who can put some cool prompts into an AI generator should never be replacing an actual artist. I think the cruel irony with the AI image generation as well is the fact that a lot of it gets its images by taking from existing artwork as well, which really sucks. There are appropriate uses. I've used it for transcription because I'm one guy and I can't just write it all out. But for large companies to cut jobs and ruin lives or replace any creativity is a huge no. That's kind of where I feel, yeah. That's more or less where I am. I need any stealth to check it, yeah. That's the thing, you can't just rely on it blindly. Oh, I've actually got a boss this time, okay. Reddit post on the PSU subreddit from someone saying that a PSU remake was being worked on. Majority of the comments though doubted it. I would not have any credibility for that comment. I know which one you mean, I've seen it myself. Yeah, I wouldn't put any weight behind it at all. The comment has about as much credibility as someone saying my dad works at Sega. This guy's level 250. Losing jobs to AI is unavoidable, though. I think it is because of how widespread AI has gotten. But I wish it wasn't the case. Well, he may be level 250. Didn't particularly help him. Oh yeah, I agree, Miss. Yeah, it is kind of like the next revolution, isn't it? It's just one that no one wants. Unless you got shares in an AI company. Yeah, what is this? No boxes? I will say, it does feel a little bit underwhelming this so far. I mean, we haven't really had that many drops or anything. Phantasy Star games need health bars for bosses. That always bothers me with the long boss fights. They did add that in NGS, so the latest game does have boss health bars. I'm a bit mixed on it because, obviously, I play a bit Monster Hunter as well, and I kind of like when games give you other ways of showing that a boss is on low health. You know, in PSO2, they do it by starting to play the PSO2 main theme whenever a boss is on low health, so... If everyone loses their jobs to AI, then no one will have the money to buy the AI-driven products. That'd be a beautiful irony, that, wouldn't it? Oh yeah, it is pretty much the same thing as the Industrial Revolution, I guess, yeah, when, you know, machines came in and replaced all the horses and everything and the manual labour. I think the issue with this side, though, is that for me, it's more the creative field that is a real problem this time. I just don't think AI should be used for anything creative. Hey, Jeff Cub, good to see you. Yeah, doing pretty well, thanks, yeah. Yeah, we're just doing some of the new Tower Quest on Clementine. It's funny, actually, I've been thinking about society as a whole and what happiness is. Like, we all keep making the technological progress. But has any of it actually led towards any of us leading genuinely happier lives? Yeah, I think we just live in an age where people just want stuff. And they think stuff will make them happy. How'd you get to the Falls Memorial? I can fast travel there because I've been here before. Can anyone remember how to get here? There'll be a certain route of missions you've got to do to get to it. I'm going to assume it's probably one that ends with the Dark Falls fight. Can you just warp there from the plane peak, or do you have to actually unlock the area first, though? Like I said, I could fast travel here because I've been here before. I want to say, is it maybe through the Hive? Maybe? Like going through the Hive and doing the Dark Falls quest, maybe? But I could be wrong. Okay, so because we got a boss last time, I'm going to assume that things have changed now. Please tell me we are now on a different music track. The thing is, on the wiki, I don't think it actually tells you how to get to here. Let's have a look. So does it tell you how to get to Phasmamoria? You can travel to it from the Guardian's colony. Doesn't seem to say how to get there, so you have to check the page missions. Also, for some reason, the Clementine wiki is incredibly slow for me at the minute. Ah, so there is a map here, cool. Okay, so Phasmamoria. Okay, that is a hell of a route. So yeah, so you need to start at the... Yeah, so basically start from Guardian's Colony. You want to do Dark Satellite, which is the first Hive quest, which will take you to the Hive. Then do Seed Awakened, which is the next Hive quest. That'll take you to Dalgun Viewing Plaza. Then you want to do the Black Nest, which is the first Rycross quest, which takes you to the Rycross map. Then do Dark God, and that will take you to Phasmamoria. So it's a bit of a journey. The good news is once you've got there, you won't have to do that again. You can just warp there. Okay, please be something different to Ignite Infinity. Clementine, we need to talk. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to put a Phantasy Star playlist on. Let's see if I can switch this over, because I don't really want to listen to Ignite Infinity for the next 10 years. I love the track, but not for this long. Can you replace the MP3? You probably could, to be honest. Right, give me a second. I'm going to put some music on. Where is my Phantasy Star music playlist? There. Hopefully that is better. As if you didn't pick the pizza music for the first track. Well, it's something a bit different to Ignite Infinity. Because I think we can all agree that it was starting to get a little bit old. Because the enemies have changed to ice. Do I have any good fire weapons? Probably not. I may have to adjust the volume on the playlist, we'll see. Perfect music for tower. Kind of surprised they didn't change these traps to do fire instead on this one. Yeah, overall, I think I don't mind this quest. It is a little repetitive, but that's kind of how the tower quests are in Phantasy Star, honestly. It doesn't feel that great for drops so far. I think the main problem is that there's no boxes at the end. That's normally how you get a lot of your stuff in PSU. I'm going to assume the final floor probably has boxes, but that's a long time to get to. I mean, we're not going to get to the final floor on this, assuming the final floor is 100. Tower repetitive. I mean, it is. How far into this mission? We just started this one. We should only be a few minutes, honestly, Zale, because it is pretty quick runs. So I'm now stuck inside this enemy. Yeah, it just feels like not a lot of stuff is dropping. I also haven't really looked what drops here, or whether it's even worth doing. I just saw there was a new quest and thought, hey, it's something we can do on stream. I think one issue with this is that it does seem to be the same map layouts every time, because we seem to be getting this room with the moving fire traps constantly. I think if the rooms were more varied, it wouldn't be as bad. Don't hear this track often enough. Yeah, it's the character creation music from PSO, or the dressing room music if you're changing costumes. Called Image of Hero. I've always really liked this track, honestly. But it's a shame you don't tend to hear it for that long, because you basically make a character and then that's about the only time you hear it. It's a relaxing track. Yeah, I really like it. I always struggle to choose which colour I should wear. I mean, that is the main struggle. That's the only reason you would hear this track a lot. It's a relaxing track, almost as good as Boomers. Yeah, Boomers is certainly a track. One that hopefully we never hear again. Cease Forest, by the way. Yeah, one kind of interesting thing on Clementine is that they seem to have made it where every enemy in the game can pretty much be any element. I mean, there were enemies in PSU on like the live servers that would have different elements at times. You know, if they had an event on, like Operation Firebreak, all the enemies would be fire elements. But there was a lot of enemies that just never changed either. And it feels on Clementine like pretty much every enemy has like different elemental versions, which is pretty cool. Is that a challenge? I mean, technically you are allowed to do Forest at the minute because we're not in the anniversary event. We'll see if that becomes necessary next anniversary because they are changing it a lot, so we'll see. Oh, you mean boomers? Okay. I mean, it is your prerogative if you want to play the boomer song. I mean, you're right. It doesn't give me a DMCA, but it is also the boomer song. Yeah, the Sphaltus do Zalud on there, which is kind of annoying. How much of a grind is it from 190 to 200? On PSU, it is a hell of a grind. It's really weird, the level pacing on this, so you will honestly, if you play fairly regularly, you'll get to 190 actually pretty quickly. Once you get to 190, it basically just stops. It's a really weird pacing, honestly. I don't know why they did it that way, but... Ow. I mean, I can't remember the last time I leveled, whether it was... I know I haven't leveled this stream. Maybe last time I played PSU, maybe. I mean, to be fair, it's kind of the same PSO, just not as extreme. You know, in PSU, pretty much all the experience is just tied into those last 10 levels. I think PSO gets progressively harder the higher you level. But even that does have a bit of a spike at sort of 190-ish. The thing is, in PSO as well, the level barely even matters. I think realistically, once you get to about, what, 175, 180 in PSO, I think by 180 you can literally equip everything in the game. You know, maybe slight exceptions if you're going for something weird like a melee Phony World build or something. But generally, the stat bonuses you get from leveling in PSO, once you get to like, honestly, from like probably 150 plus, are so low that you just don't really notice it. All you need is red ring level, exactly. Well, all you need is red ring level and a red ring. Which reminds me, that might be something I may need to hunt soon. I'll get the Photon drops to just get some, because my ranger is now at a level where she can use red ring. I should probably be using it. Without Clem Camp, I don't think I'd still be playing. Clem Camp does definitely make things a lot easier. Yeah, I would just say just do your Clem Camp every day, and use the level up quests. This should help you level as well. Oh, I've got more of these guys, great. Also got the weird frogs. Yeah, I'm quite glad they didn't remove the Clem camp. I know there was a rumor at one point that they were going to remove it. I think the addition of the Clem camp definitely does make it easier to get towards the higher levels at least. It does definitely fall off a bit later, but particularly for low level it does help a lot. The timing for the second part of this PA is very weird. Okay, so is it just a bit delayed? Yeah, okay. Really can't see a thing. Level 199. Oh, nice one, Drac. One more. Dare I ask, does it tell you how much experience you need to get to 200? Yeah, one more, exactly. I'm sort of morbidly curious of how much it's going to be. Or it's literally just 999999999. Okay. So 99,999,999 experience to get to 200 from 199. Okay. How does that compare to mine? I have said that I need 31 million and I'm about 2/3 through, so maybe the experience from like 190 to 200 is about the same for each level. So I'm about 2/3 through this level at the minute and I still need 30 million. Which sounds insane, but I guess enemies generally give you a lot more experience in PSU, so it balances out to an extent. I will say, I think it's definitely easy with 3 people. Oh, Zale's here, cool. You got a Lapucha item. Well done. Yeah, hopefully this will be a bit easier again with 4 people. So cool, Hugh Seal outfit. Can I just point this out that I'm still amazed that for the 25th anniversary of PSO, we did not get any PSO outfits in NGS. I don't know how they managed to screw that up so spectacularly, but if this music has a genre, I need to know what it is. I don't know what your class this has. I'm not a music buff by any means, so Is the microphone support in party chat like there was for Xbox 360 PSU? I don't think it's built into Clementine, because from what I remember, I don't think PC and PS2 had mic support. I think that was an Xbox 360 exclusive thing. We do have a full party. How did this screw it up? Because Sega does what? Nothing. Honestly, Zane, I imagine now that most people who play this, if they do want to communicate, they probably just use something like Discord instead. Which I think now is why like a lot of games tend to just have used Discord instead. I know certain games will have built-in voice chat, particularly if it's important to the game, like if it's proximity related. Interestingly, I think PSO2 did have voice chat built in, but they removed it. Alright, 21 25. Yeah, if you haven't heard this before, Zen, I don't know if you have, this is from PSO episode 4, this music. Yeah, PSO also had voice chat on the Xbox version, yeah. I can only imagine how good that was. Given what the lobby experience was like on PSO quite often, I imagine the voice chat was interesting, to say the least. That is that a sword or an axe? Spent hours and hours at the hot springs chatting with friends when it was on Xbox with the microphone, great times. It's one thing I do like about PSU, all the different lobbies, and there was like loads of places you could just chill with your friends, which I really liked. Same as you, I think I spent a lot of time in like the hot springs lobbies, all the ones where there was a lot of seats and everything. You just spend time just chilling with your friends, which was really cool. I think this song is probably one of my favourite PSU songs. I love that PSU feels like a lived-in world that you can traverse. Oh, for sure. If you're chilling in the hot springs, you're doing something wrong. Badum-tis. Yeah, I think one of the really cool things as well with the lobbies is there was loads of them that had like hidden parts to them as well. Like, I'm sure people who played PSU back then probably remember, but there was like loads of like hidden dressing rooms and stuff so you could like change your character's outfit. There was quite a few of those, if I remember correctly. Just like cool little like, Easter eggs and secrets in the lobbies. I do feel that the way the PSU world was constructed was very unique for the time, honestly. There were definitely advantages and disadvantages to it for sure. I think one of the disadvantages was that, say if you were meeting up with someone new and you wanted to do a quest with them, it might be in a lobby they'd never been to, so then you'd have to like go back to the town, get them through all the quests to get them to the lobby, so you could do this, so you'd actually do the mission you wanted to do. That was kind of a bit annoying. But I just like the idea of like traveling between the different lobbies and, you know, doing a quest to get to the next lobby. Especially when, you know, if you did a quest as well and you arrived at like one of the end lobbies that would have a really cool scenic feature, like I remember there was the waterfall lobby in Param. And that was really cool the first time you got there. It kind of felt like the game was rewarding you for sticking through the quests. And it's just something they've never really replicated. Yeah, you could pay someone for a taxi service, which I think was a good idea. You just hope that someone had the lobby. Xbox, it was crazy seeing so many people on the screen. You could play the demo online without an Xbox subscription. It was basically the Xbox version of PS Home, if you remember that. Yeah, I mean, I never had the Xbox version myself, but from what I've heard from people who played it, it sounds like a lot of people who just downloaded the demo and just logged on the demo every day. Some new lobbies in PSO Baby would be nice. Yeah, because I mean, I like what they've done on Affinia, you know, giving us the Dreamcast lobbies, the GameCube and Blueburst lobbies, and Xbox, the F3 lobbies, and the Go Ball lobby as well. It is really cool that we've got those, but it'd be cool if they could do some more. I don't know what else they would do. You're reading about auctions on Guild Wars 1, and apparently some people auction taxi services and that too. Yeah, wasn't there... I think it might be the thing in Diablo as well. There was like a time where people would like auction themselves as runners, where they would basically run you to the next camp. I think Guild Wars did do that, I seem to remember that. Import the stages from Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 where you raise Charles. Yeah, I guess so. You can sequence skip on prophecies with taxing services. Levels would reset every month, I believe. Never got the official game because needed a subscription of Xbox Gold. It was just a social place. Yeah, I think that was the downside of the Xbox version, wasn't it? I can't remember if it was the same for PSO or not. I know, yeah, for PSU definitely. Where you needed... I think you needed to like pay for Xbox Live and the cost of the game as well, where obviously on PC, PS2 you just needed the game. And obviously you had your Guardian's license on top of that as well. So in that regard, I kind of get why the Xbox demo would have been popular, because it must have been pretty off-putting to buy the game, pay for a Guardian's license, and then pay for Xbox Live Gold just to play PSU. Three-factor authentication. You still hear the spamming of messages and those weird noises when I hear the songs because of Fourth Floor. Yeah, I guess people just use it differently. Like you're saying, if they just use it as like a social experience. But I imagine that quite a lot of people probably got their introduction to Phantasy Star through the Xbox 360 demo. So Give us the PS4 Ep 3 laugh track spam. People made the game, yeah. I mean, I think that's a common thing with Phantasy Star in general, is that a lot of it's just about the community. I mean, most of the games are pretty solid themselves, you know, taking that out of consideration. I mean, PSO you can play totally fine offline. But the community is definitely a very big part of it. Or should I say it was a big part of it? It's interesting because when I play PSO2 or NGS, I kind of feel like no one really talks to each other in that game. Now, whether it's because people just use voice chat or something instead, I don't know. Or maybe they're just all in party chat. But I don't know, it always feels really quiet in the lobbies on PSO2 or NGS. People just don't really seem to talk to each other much. Oh, got Ankzagza U+. I mean, I'll take it. I just needed axe, actually. Let's try that out, actually. I mean, not that I have any thought on ads level for it, but... I used to really like axes in this game. A lot of games lost interaction to external programs like Discord, yeah. I mean, I guess, you know, particularly on something like NGS, I guess if you're in like an alliance with a lot of other people and you're all playing with alliance members, you're probably going to be talking in either alliance chat or over Discord or something, so there's less need to talk in the public chat, I guess. Yeah, it's just something I've noticed with the later games. It just seems to have sort of moved into a more... I don't know what the best way to put it is. Insular, I guess? Here, Clementine can be very cocky and has fair share of drama. And watch both you and Living Lit tutorials, very detailed. Yeah, I mean, I've had a few comments on my PSU videos about drama on Clementine. For what it's worth, I've personally never experienced any. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I think with any kind of online community, there is always some drama involved somewhere. I've never noticed anything myself, but yeah, I'm not saying it never happened. I'm not even sure if it's solo-centric, Mist. I think it's just more that because the game gives you multiple ways to talk, you know, you have things like, you have the public chat, but you also have party chat, you've got alliance chat, you've got whisper chat. Because of that, a lot of people will use those and won't really talk in public that much. So it does feel very quiet sometimes in some of the lobbies on PSO2 and NGS. Hey Boink, good to see you. Oh, I didn't die that run, apparently. You're flying today, can't stay, so have fun with the stream. Oh, no worries. Hope the flight goes well. I'm going to assume you're flying for work, because I know you tend to fly quite often for work. Oh, flying home, okay. Yeah, I don't know where you're flying back into. I know on the news there was some big delays at I think it was at Heathrow. Because apparently, I haven't seen the full details of it, but apparently someone was like pepper spraying someone in one of the car parks. I'm going home to Portugal, I should be okay then. Can't do the PS0 dance cancel. Game's ruined. Yeah, I don't know what was going on at Heathrow, but apparently, there was just people in the car park that were apparently pepper spraying each other. To the point where they had to declare an incident. I don't know if they shut the airport down or if they had to like evacuate people from part of it, but yeah. The airport's here in chaos because of Christmas. Is it really that bad already? I mean, I know it's a few weeks yet. I can imagine just before Christmas it'll be horrendous. But it's bad already. Yeah, as you do, exactly, yeah. Casual biological warfare in the car parks. Oh, the peak of DC again. I guess, should we just abandon and wait for Pika? Because we are literally at the start. So I don't think he can rejoin this. If they can't join, yeah. Restart, okay. I tend to want to escape the busier times and end up creating busier times. Oh no, Royce Pika, no, it's totally fine. Alright, we go again. Yeah, at least it was right at the start. But yeah, I'm quite glad nothing affected my flights when I got back. You got St. Alicia Plus, nice one. I mean, we've had a couple of decent drops. It feels like we're getting a lot less than other quests that we've done recently. But I guess the drops that we have had have mostly been U+ weapons, so yeah, I think going forward what I'll do is I'll look into that other restreaming option and see if I can split the audio for YouTube. Because that would definitely free things up a lot more. Because at the minute there is always that constant fear with YouTube that like the game is going to play something that will trigger DMCA. And at the same time I kind of don't want to abandon the YouTube audience on the streams because I appreciate some people prefer watching the streams on YouTube. Again, for anyone who doesn't know, I do multi-streams, so I do stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. Not my finest moment, though. How many hours are you in this character? I honestly can't remember. It's not a huge amount. I've leveled really quickly. Yeah, this is the PSO2 character creation music from PSO2 base game. Basically, this playlist, it's a playlist I set up for the Arcs Lounge podcast because I wanted kind of more relaxing, chill Phantasy Star music to play in the background. But it's ideal for just having it in the background, honestly. Yeah, axes are really fun in PSU. I kind of wish to bring these back to another game. I do feel that guy should not be able to go through the door with how tall he is. At some point as well, later this month, I do want to try and squeeze in an NGS stream somewhere. Because I want to do a stream that covers the new Dalfar's Loser quest. And cover some of the PSO stuff that we've got as well. It's just a question of where to fit it in. Because once the Affinia Christmas event starts, that's going to take up a lot of the streams, I imagine. Obviously, it won't take up the Wednesday streams, because the Wednesday streams will be front mission until we finish that. Just to reiterate as well, we will be back to doing Wednesday and Sunday streams. The Friday stream we did was just a one-off. Well, I will say I didn't mind streaming on Friday. I would never do 3 streams a week because I don't think I can really commit to that. But I don't mind Friday as a stream day. I think the advantage of doing Wednesday though is it leaves a nice gap between the streams for the most part. So it feels like I get a break between them as well. Also, I'm trying to work on some plans for next year as well. I can't really go into what they are yet, but just know that things are cooking. It's nothing totally confirmed yet, but yeah. I should also say as well that when the 25th anniversary video goes out, that will be when I will announce the winner of the giveaway as well. Whoever wins the giveaway, I will be posting that probably after Christmas, so likelihood is it'll probably get sent out in January 2026. Mainly because I do not want to post something near Christmas, because the Christmas post here is horrendous. Starting a Skyly Cooks channel, I am not, and you do not want to see that. You know, my cooking ability is... well, there isn't any. What's your favourite event or holiday for PSU? I mean, I feel like on Clementine, the anniversary events are always pretty strong, which I think is normal for most of these games. Oh, he DC'd again, Pika. Yeah, I hope you get your internet sorted soon. I know it sucks when you've got, you know, internet that disconnects. Speaking of Nier, I did play through it on Nier Replicant the other day, finally. Yeah, I need to go back to Nier Replicant at some point. I played through a good deal of it. But then... it was, like normally happens, something else released and distracted me. I'm trying to what game it was. Maybe it was Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak? Maybe? I do like Nier Replicant from what I played of it. I think, from what I played, I think I prefer Automata. But Automata wouldn't have existed without Replicant, so... Only have to play it 4 more times now for the endings. Yeah, that's the normal course of action with Nier. I mean, with Automata, it's 26 endings, isn't it? But most of them are kind of joke endings you can do really quickly. I think there's, is it 5 main endings, I think, for Automata? Speaking of Automata, actually, and Square Enix as a whole, they've just announced a new concert tour for... I know they've announced some European dates, and there is a UK date in London, which is at Wembley Stadium. It's basically a tour that's going to focus on just Square Enix games in general. So I think they said there's going to be some Nier songs, there'll be some Final Fantasy, some Chrono Trigger. I think they said there was some songs from Octopath as well. So if you are interested in any of those games, I think the tickets have just gone live recently, so they might have already gone, because I know for the Nier concerts they went almost immediately. So yeah, if you are interested in game music, it might be worth going to. Just came back to hear Nier Automata. I think it's time for me to go for Automata. I think you'll enjoy it. I will say, I think the actual combat side of Nier Automata, I don't think is its strong point. Which is odd, because you would think it would be really good with it being Platinum Games. But I personally felt that the combat was a little weak in Nier Automata. Mainly because it's so heavily focused around just spamming the counters. You can literally just spam counters for most of that game and get away with it. The whole point of playing Nier is for the story and the atmosphere and the music. The combat itself is kind of passable. But everything else makes up for it. The story design soundtrack is just chef's kiss. It really is. I still maintain that, for me, I think Nier Automata might have the best soundtrack of any game I've played. For context though, I have not yet played Expedition 33, so, and I know the soundtrack for that's meant to be incredible. I mean, I've heard a few songs from it. That might be a game I do play maybe next year at some point. I am kind of interested in playing Expedition 33. Just I want to get through the games I've got planned first. Yeah, if you do play Nier Automata, just be aware, it is a rough story. It is, yeah, it is a lot to deal with. More crossworlds. We might do more crossworlds, even if I don't do it on stream. Might do it on some of the Discord events, honestly. I know, Drac, I know you said you just bought crossworlds recently, so... More crossworlds. I mean, I'm down to do more crossworlds at some point. I'm terrible at it, but... Nope, another boss. Who we got? Oh, it's this Deroller. I like how you turn the music off in PSU and it just mutes all the actual boss noises. Now come over here so I can hit you in the face. Me too, but it is fun. It is a really fun game. That was a terrible move. Normally that attack covers quite a lot of the raft, but no, he just covered this one specific corner. You kind of forget how awful this fight is without range. I mean, I've got a handgun. I mean, I guess I can shoot you with this. I'm not going to do a whole lot, but... Yeah, the Durrell fight in PSU is not a particular highlight of the game. I mean, to be fair, the Durrell fight in PSO was not a particular highlight of the game. I like that there's a bit more interactivity in that you can actually move the raft around, but he does just spend most of the fight being annoying. Yeah, he is very, very annoying. And for some reason, Dark Falls is a worm boss in this game. I mean, he does have another phase as well, but the other phase is just kind of reskin of Dulkfakis. This song and this boss, though, it's a good mix, isn't it? It's throwing me off. It probably makes the fight more interesting, honestly. He has not come alongside the raft once. Can you do that now? Would that be something you can do? Thank you. Yeah, the second phase of Falls in this is basically just a copy of Dulkfakis. It does have a couple of its own moves, and it works a little bit differently, but it's very close. And the model is just Dulkfakis, but recolored. I don't know why that just said 0. Yeah, 0. That's like the last time I played this, wasn't it? Was it last time where it just randomly said like double saber at the end? It's telling us to play PS0 Snow Area. I mean, I do like on Durrell that you get this bit at the end. I just also realised that that needle says Clem on the side of it. It's kind of cool that it brings you to this little part here. Clem Needle. Plus the downside is, normally after you beat Durrell, you would then go to the casino. Unfortunately, this is not going to take us to the casino. Still no boxes either. I forgot how long this song is. It feels like it's gone on forever. I actually need to check this playlist actually and see how much longer is left of it. Yeah, I guess I do like with the PSU tower that it remembers what floor you're up to. And I guess you can just bring people along. But obviously in Zero, you have to do the whole thing. Right, how much longer is left on this playlist? Not long. I guess we can restart the playlist. Yeah, let's knock back the start again. Excellent. Oh, it says current floor 1 for you. So maybe it's... So maybe if, for example, if Zale led, they would only have access to floor 1. But if we lead, we'd have access to whatever floor we're up to. The question is, I wonder if it counts as a tower clear for Zale if we cleared it. We don't know how it works. Yeah, because it does say, again, you can't really see this because of where my camera is. You can just about see the top of it. It says the tower, and then it says current floor, floor 31. Towers cleared 0. So I would assume that, because I'm going to assume it's 100 floors, because that's normally how it is. Maybe you get a reward after you clear 100. It does feel like a lot of work for seemingly not a lot so far. To be fair, that is pretty indicative of PSO Tower though. Generally just a lot of misery and not much in return. Yeah, I need to add a few more songs to this place, particularly some Phantasy Star 4 music. I mean, I'm fine to keep going if you want. We've got probably just under an hour or so. You want the dog theme? Fine, give me a sec. I can add the dog theme to the playlist. Right, where is it? Tonneau de Pont. Oh god, the first one is a 15-minute loop. Let's not do that one. Okay, save to playlist. Phantasy Star music. Okay, now I think if I refresh that, we should hopefully should be on here now. Let's put it there. You asked for this. Everyone is going to regret this now. I mean, thankfully, it's only 3 minutes long. It is a very catchy song, but I still don't understand why there's a random dog barking in it. It's Excalibur dog. I mean, it does kind of sound like Excalibur from PSO. He first appeared in Phantasy Star 4. Dog Theme 10-hour edition. I think the most we've got so far is there is a 15-minute loop. Maybe I need to be the one to upload a 24-hour loop. Just of that one song. Okay, we have changed elements again, so we're now on lightning. The market is clearly untapped. Yeah. Do we think there is much of a market for 10-hour loops of obscure music from JRPGs? Or specifically, dog music from RPGs? I mean, probably there's a market for anything these days. I mean, yeah, I suppose you're not wrong. You might be the one making a new viral meme. Yeah, we're gonna make the Phantasy Star 4 dog song viral in 2025. Is that a surprise for next year? A second channel of obscure 10-hour loops. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Yeah, I've got to admit, I've never understood the fascination with people making like 10-hour loops of songs on YouTube. I can't think of anything I would really want to listen to for 10 hours. Maybe I'm not a target market for those videos. Even Phantasy Star music, as much as I love a lot of the Phantasy Star soundtracks, I don't think I could listen to one for, 10 hours. Rain noises on a dark screen for sleeping. I mean, I kind of get that. No, because legitimately, I think rain noises do help some people sleep. I do understand that. Not so much Phantasy Star 4 dog song. And if that does help you sleep, you need help. I send the Evangelion Portuguese congratulations 10-hour loop when someone has a birthday with your friends. You put multi-hour video game retrospectives onto sleep. It doesn't work, but I do it. I think that's probably the only thing you would use sort of a 10-hour video for, isn't it? I guess to try and help you sleep. Or just for the memes, I guess. 10-hour raycast stomping sounds with added reverb. That's considered funny now with the kids, isn't it? Loud equals funny. You know, Dragon Slayer U plus, nice. Even in PSU, we cannot escape Dragon Slayers. I like in PSU that they made it so you can regain your like the PP that's on your weapon. You can regain that by doing normal attacks, but you regain so little it's almost pointless. I got 4 PP, but from that back, that just feels pointless. Yeah, the thing about the raycast stomping sounds, I do find it really funny that a few people have mentioned in front mission that they think the mechs sound like raycast stomping sounds. Four-player raycast session, yeah, exactly. I do somewhat question the logic behind them making that noise for the raycast, because bear in mind PSO is a game where you are going to be spending a lot of money. And then you are going to be spending a lot of time playing a specific character. You're going to be hearing this stomping sound a lot. Did they not think at any point, this noise might get a bit annoying? Okay, I don't know what happened with that trap there. It seemed to come down once and then never again. They hadn't invented anti-gravity footwear at that time. I mean, I do think it's funny in PSO, like, that they had the attention to detail to literally give the different character classes different walking noises. But then at the same time thought, yeah, let's have a really loud stomping noise for raycasts that is certainly not going to get annoying after hundreds of hours. I think that thinking wasn't involved in a lot of PSO BB things. Yeah, again, you are certainly not wrong. Not just PSO BB as well, pretty much every version of PSO has some very questionable decisions. Look, I love PSO. We love PSO. But part of the reason we love PSO is for its absolute jank. Maybe they just genuinely didn't think people would play the game for hundreds of hours. I mean, it's possible. I mean, I suppose if you think about it, I would imagine that the majority of people who bought PSO, even if we go back to like the Dreamcast version, I would imagine a lot of people who bought PSO, maybe half of them, if you're lucky, would have played online. And of those people who did play online, I don't know how many would stick with it long term. For the people who played offline, I'd imagine they maybe just did story, beat Dark Falls, maybe didn't do much after that. The rest of us all have a problem and just kept playing it. See you in Hellbot. I do really find that the whole concept of buying viewers on Twitch really funny. Add that name the boo onto your ban list, stops that particular problem 100%. Yeah, because I think the last couple have all been from that same domain, haven't they? So yeah, I'll sort that out after the stream. Even if it does give me great pleasure swinging the ban hammer. You have a big list of names you can share with me too. Yeah, no worries, yeah. Yeah, I just found the whole concept of like paying for viewers to be really lame. Like, if you are on Twitch and you are having to pay for viewers, you are doing things wrong. You know, I realize I am quite a small channel, but I've never felt the urge to buy viewers. Partially because it doesn't help you anyway, because you just end up with more people watching, in inverted commas, but there's no more engagement in your chat. And with how Twitch apparently works now, it only really counts people who are engaged in the chat anyway, so you're just paying for nothing. That's what I mean, though, but because of how Twitch apparently works now, from what I've heard, apparently Twitch really only counts active viewers in your chat towards your actual viewership. So if you're just paying for bots who just bulk your viewer number up and don't actually participate in chat, how is that helping you? I get it, you know, before they change things, like maybe because I guess it would bulk your viewership up, and you know, people are generally more likely to click on a stream that's got higher viewership numbers on it. But now I don't even know if that would work. Everyone's desperate to find some degree of success, and they wouldn't do if it didn't work some of the time. I mean, maybe it used to work, but yeah, I mean, unless the bots that they buy do type messages in chat, I don't know. Again, I wouldn't know because I never used it, but it just feels really inauthentic to me. I get that people might want to do it to try and get like an initial boost on their channel to get them, you know, out the starting blocks more. Because, you know, I think when you first start, realistically, if you first start on Twitch and you don't have any presence anywhere else, you're probably going to be streaming to 0 viewers for a while until people start stumbling on your channel, until you get a bit more visibility. And maybe people see it as a way to get out of that initial difficulty, but it's just really inauthentic because you're bringing people in under the premise of you having viewers when you don't. Oh, fighter 20, nice. Saddest thing about the foreign prince phishing scam is that it still exists because now and then it works. Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be some people who fall for it. I still think that, for me, I think the easiest way to get viewers on Twitch originally is to just have a presence somewhere else first. I've said this loads of times, but I think the discoverability on Twitch is garbage. And I think you need to have a presence somewhere else to get people to feed to your Twitch channel. And for me, obviously, it was with YouTube, which is where I started. And then when I did start streaming on Twitch, people just naturally started watching on Twitch. The hardest thing, honestly, is getting the initial viewership on YouTube. Exactly, yeah. You can't just use Twitch, I don't think. I mean, yeah, there'll be some people who do just use Twitch and get away with it. Obviously, a lot of it depends on the content you're doing and everything. You know, if you're someone who is genuinely entertaining and is doing unique stuff that not many other people are doing, then you're obviously probably going to get viewers. Usually big streamers try to blow up on YouTube or Facebook and try to link up the Twitch, yeah. It's a smart thing to do, you know, to build your viewership somewhere else. I mean, I know a lot of streamers will typically start like a YouTube channel, then they'll stream on Twitch and then just upload VODs to YouTube and just use the YouTube for VOD uploads. For me, I think I'm at a stage where I think multi-streaming is so relatively easy that it kind of makes sense to just stream on both. I do feel I'm at a point now, though, where I don't need to rely on my YouTube stuff as much. Much prefer YouTube. Yeah, I think it's different for everyone, Nova. I think for me personally, if I'm going to watch a live stream, I will typically prioritize Twitch. But obviously YouTube is much better for actually finding, like, you know, obviously video content, which, you know, you can't really do on Twitch. And I get why people would prefer on YouTube, because I guess if you're watching someone's videos on YouTube and then they go live on Twitch, you're in the same ecosystem. Also, I believe YouTube stream quality is generally a bit better. There are issues with YouTube, obviously. You know, the whole not being able to split audio without multi-streaming is a bit of an issue, but... And I feel like I think that the community aspect in terms of like the interaction between like stream and chat is a little bit better thought out on Twitch. It kind of still feels a bit primitive on YouTube, but... I mean, for the foreseeable, I will always stream on Twitch and YouTube, because YouTube's where I started. It's where I built a lot of my viewers from initially. And I kind of feel like dropping YouTube now, I don't know how I feel about it. So for the time being, I mean, it's no issue for me to do YouTube and Twitch. The thing is, what helps to diversify as well, because you never know what's going to happen to either of the services either. I know YouTube and Twitch are like very well rooted now, but you never know what's going to happen. I think putting all the eggs in one basket on, you know, on one service is really risky. It's lacking a bit on YouTube, yeah. I mean, there's some elements of YouTube I do really, really like. Hopefully they just continue to improve it over the time. You know, realistically, YouTube is still relatively new to the whole streaming thing, so... There's so many rules and best practice you can follow with it, though. And it's like how much effort you want to put in for X return. A lot of it is anecdotal too. You can follow all the rules and still fail. Or others who sporadically stream whenever they find success. You just gotta find what works for you. Yeah. Again, I mean, as much as I wish it wasn't the case, a lot of it is just luck. Obviously, it helps if you can, you know, put the work in, and, you know, I think as long as you're being like regular with your streams and you're sticking to a schedule most of the time, that helps a lot, but there is an element of luck to it for sure. I think it depends what you want out of the service as well. You know, if you're looking to stream to make money, you're probably going to do things a lot differently to if you just want to do it as a hobby. But for me, I just do this because I enjoy doing it. If I do make money along the way, great. If I don't, whatever. I do this because I enjoy streaming these games and just hanging out and talking to people who also enjoy them. I think there's quite a lot of people who get into streaming and get into it purely because they want to make money from it, and I don't feel it's a good way to go about it. Best to start for fun and then let it evolve. Exactly, yeah. I mean, you know, when I started my YouTube, you know, a couple of years ago, with an asterisk, because I've had the YouTube channel for like about 20 years, but I didn't actually really start using it for videos and stuff regularly until a couple of years ago. But when I started on that, I started because I wanted to make videos on Phantasy Star stuff. That was the whole reason. By doing that though, I've managed to get enough subs to get to YouTube Partner, so I can actually make money from it now. Am I making a lot of money from it? Not particularly, but I'm making some money from doing something I enjoy doing, so you got S-Beat Blades U Plus. Oh, nice one. It takes 5 to 7 years on average to make money from streaming, yet there's a few people I met streaming to maybe 20 average viewers and they've started doing merch. Like, slow the heck down. Yeah, I think merch is an interesting one because I feel you have to have a good size audience before you even consider merch, because you know, merch is going to cost you quite a bit to make. You're going to need to get some returns on it. I think some of that is probably just people just probably don't realize how much it would cost to actually make merch. Can't help noticing that my camera is still getting somewhat flashbanged whenever there's an explosion on screen, despite me using these new lights. I mean, they've lessened it, but it's still there. It'll only ever lessen it unless you match the brightness, and that'd be pain. Yeah, just have a constant flashbang on screen. That said, I do feel like the new lights I've got do look a lot better. It actually makes me look like I've got some colour in my face, which is amazing, considering I'm British. Wow, he did not care at all. Lighting does make a world of difference, and it helps with the actual visual clarity and detail the cameras can pick up too. Yeah. I was really surprised at the difference, honestly. Again, these lights that I'm using, I've got 2 of them set up. They're basically mounted to my monitor and then pointing at the wall behind me, so I get like the refraction off the wall. They're just the Logitech Litra Glow lights. I've got, like I said, I got them in a Black Friday deal for like half price, so bargain really. I didn't really need them a while back because the camera that I used before this was a Razer Kiyo, and that had a built-in light, which did a pretty good job, honestly. But then I upgraded it to the Kiyo Pro, which you would think Kiyo Pro would have a light, but no. For what it's worth, I would not recommend this camera. I had a nightmare getting this camera set up because the software that Razer want you to use for it seems to pretty much break it for everything else. I mean, the camera, like the visual quality and everything on it's fine. It's just that, yeah, I've had a few issues, mainly with the Razer software, to the point where I just ended up uninstalling the Razer software. In other PC related issues, I've had another issue recently with rendering in Vegas. I was having this really weird problem where I would start rendering videos and then my PC would just restart. Oh, no, sorry, it wouldn't even restart, it would just turn off. And I really couldn't figure out what was causing it. I was thinking, you know, is the PC overheating or something? But it wasn't. I was thinking, is my power supply failing? Power supply seems fine for everything else. It was just whenever I was rendering, it was turn the PC off. I think I figured out what's causing it, and it's super weird, and I don't understand why it's causing it. It turns out that I have a VR headset, a MetaQuest, and the Oculus software for that, for some reason, if the Oculus software is open and I try rendering in Vegas, it will turn my PC off. I don't know why this is a thing, but apparently that happens. So I've disabled the Oculus software, and so far I've been able to render stuff again. I really don't know why that interaction happens. I say it's not even that Vegas crashes or anything. It literally just turns my PC off. It's extremely weird. Technology is great, yeah, except when it isn't. But yeah, I'll confirm it on the next video that I do. I think it's because the Oculus software adds a virtual monitor to your driver, so it probably messes with something. Possibly. I discovered it because I ended up looking in the event viewer to say, you know, surely there's some kind of error that's going off here. And at first, all I could see was errors that were saying, you know, the PC shut down unexpectedly, which doesn't really help me at all. I was noticing that about the same time I was getting errors with the Oculus software. So I just thought, well, if I disable that, will that actually fix things? And so far it seems to have worked. I mean, hell, it's not like I'm using my VR headset anywhere. I can't remember the last time I turned that on. I swear, I bought a VR headset in about 2016. I think it was a HTC Vive. I used it for maybe a year and a half or so, quite a lot, and then just stopped using it. I then decided, about a year later, I thought, right, I'll get back into VR again. I'd sold my Vive by this point. So I bought a MetaQuest and used it for about 6 months and then never touched it again. I still feel like there's just nothing for VR. And I feel like the technology has been around long enough where there really should be stuff for it by now. There's the odd thing here and there, but it still feels really lackluster, honestly. I mean, the experience of using VR is kind of cool the first time you do it, but you just realise very quickly that there is nothing for VR headsets. No Man's Sky is great in VR. I'm trying to think what my favourite thing in VR was. I mean, I always like playing Beat Saber. Beat Saber was always fun because I like rhythm games, so. That was Xbox Connect for me. See, I never got a Connect. I remember Connect releasing and I just thought, there is no reason I want this. So I didn't buy it. And I think that was the correct decision. And I think now, the equivalent for me now is probably the Nintendo Switch 2. I still don't really see a reason to buy a Switch 2. Again, no shade to anyone who has bought a Switch 2. For me, I just don't really see a reason to get one yet. Also, you know, Nintendo. I'll say no more. So I think the only game that came out recently that I'd maybe consider playing would be that Pokemon ZA. But I think you can play that on Switch 1 anyway. I mean, whether it runs at all is another thing. been enjoying Switch games on my cheaper than a Switch 2 Xbox ROG Ally. I mean, how much is the Switch 2 anyway? I've never actually looked into what the price is. Yeah, that is the other elephant in the room, Mist, isn't it? Yeah, the whole existence of the Steam Deck. I think really like the only advantage that the Switch has is like first-party Nintendo stuff, but you know, there are ways of playing those. I'm not going to go into it, obviously, but yeah. I think if you're staying above board and you're doing things legitimately, then that's probably the only advantage of the Switch. I will say I am really interested to see what the Steam machine's going to be like. So I think that could be a really interesting buy potentially. I don't know if I'll get it myself, but I could see it being really useful. No longer have to buy games on multiple platforms, just Steam and portable and desktop sorted. Yeah. Guild Wars 1 works nice on the Steam Deck. I suppose it's got controller support now, hasn't it? So, yeah. I guess we can do one more. Yeah, I think the Steam machine is going to depend heavily on the price. I mean, I think, didn't they say that they're not going to subsidize the price this time? So I would expect it to be... I would guess, what, at least 600? The Steam machine? Probably more. Or the Gabe Cube, as everyone's calling it. Steam machine might be a great way for people to get started as creators since it can run OBS and PC games too, yeah? I know the specs on it aren't like top end, but I mean, it'll be enough to play a lot of stuff. And realistically, I mean, if the price is good, you could realistically use it as like a secondary PC. So for streaming, I mean, I don't do it myself, but some streamers will use like a dual PC setup where they'll play the game on one PC and then they'll basically use OBS on the other PC to actually stream it. So that you're not using the resources from one PC to do both tasks. I personally don't have a reason to do it because my PC is fine doing it for both. I know some streamers do that. So maybe with a Steam machine, I guess you could maybe substitute that. Valve said it's more powerful than 70% of people's setups. And they have the data for that thanks to the hardware server, plus the warranty, etc. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would not expect it to be as powerful as this PC, but I also appreciate this PC probably costs a lot more than a Steam machine. I think for the majority of people, the Steam machine is going to be totally fine. I haven't really looked into a lot of the details about it personally. I'm assuming is it running on? Is it Steam OS? Because I would imagine if it runs on Steam OS, I'm going to assume there's probably a way to like sideload on it, potentially. SteamOS, which already runs most games better than Windows. I mean, I think we all know at this point that Windows is like a sinking ship. Windows just seems keen on just cramming AI into absolutely everything, which is great. They're targeting most games on Steam achieving 60 FPS at 4K with FSR, meaning 1080p without FSR should be perfect. Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm totally fine running games at 1080. I mean, I think for the stream, I generally can't remember what this outputs as now, because it's so long since I set the stream up. But I typically play games in 1440 usually, but honestly 1080 will be fine. 1440 is nice to have, 4K is, you know, obviously even better. But I could totally play a game on 1080 and not have an issue. You know, below 1080 not so much, but 1080 60 according to Twitch, nice. So I know I used to stream at 720, but did get faster internet about a year or so ago, so I think I upgraded it then. On the Rogue Ally, I play at 720 at 60 and it's fine, things still look sharp. I think on a handheld you can get away with slightly lower res, can't you? Because you've got a smaller screen anyway. Exactly, yeah. I think if you're getting a Steam machine and you're expecting to play at like 4K 60, then, you know, you're going to be disappointed probably. I know they said they're targeting that, but I don't know if it would necessarily run smoothly 4K 60. Oh, got Steam Burst U+. I've seen people call the Ally crap because it won't play Cyberpunk at 4K and the battery drains too fast. I mean, there's a reason for that. Depends a lot on which games you're playing straight, yeah. I genuinely thought, I think it's really cool to see Steam getting more into the hardware market. I mean, the Steam Deck's obviously been a massive hit. And I kind of get the impression with Steam that they won't kind of half-arse anything. I mean, personally, I would get a Steam Deck, but just with how I am, I don't really get the opportunity to play handheld games that often, so yeah, that is the one big downside at the minute, isn't it, Drac? The whole issue with certain parts prices at the minute, where that influences the price of the Steam machine, you know, particularly RAM prices. Again, fuck AI. Yeah, because RAM prices at the minute are disgusting. Valve have spent 10 years going back to the drawing board after the initial Steam machines failed. They could have kept pumping them out, but instead they buckled down to make sure it's decent. Yeah, I do wonder if the price of RAM at the minute will factor into the price of the Steam machine. I mean, you know, they have said that they're not going to downprice it too much, you know. Because I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty certain that the Steam Decks were kind of sold at a loss. But yeah, I hope the RAM prices don't affect the price too much. But with how things are at the minute, Now, I mentioned this before, but the RAM that I have in my PC at the minute, it's Corsair Vengeance 32 gig. That RAM I bought about 18 months ago, and it cost me about £120. That's exact same RAM now is now 345 for the exact same memory with the exact same timings. It used to be that when you built a PC, the RAM was generally one of the cheaper parts to buy. You know, you'd obviously spend a lot of your budget on the, the CPU and the GPU. Whereas now it kind of feels like RAM is one of the more expensive components. It's not just RAM either, it's all flash, so SSDs and VRAM for GPUs is going up too. And the sad thing with, particularly with SSDs, is some of the good budget brands are starting to pull out. So I don't know if you saw, but the brand Crucial, they've basically closing down. The company that owns them is still going, but they're discontinuing the Crucial brand. And Crucial, for me, were always kind of like a cheaper SSD brand that was still pretty reliable and pretty decent. It's kind of sad to see them go, especially with the current prices. Everything's expensive as is. I mean, yeah, it's never been cheap, but it's just a lot worse at the minute. Just mentioned about Crucial. Yeah, it's so from what I've read, I don't know the exact specifics of it, but I think it's the company that owns the Crucial brand. They're discontinuing Crucial. I also saw, I can't remember which GPU brand it was now, but one of the GPU brands, they've said that they're going to increase their GPU prices by, I think it was, they were increasing it by, I think it was £10 per, I think it was £10 per 8 gig of VRAM. So you can already see it's starting to feed into GPUs and SSDs as well. Micron said, thanks for making us a success consumers. We're no longer selling to consumers, just AI. I mean, again, I get that these AI data centers do need RAM, of course they do. But it's now at the point where it's now affecting like regular consumers who are basically starting to get priced out the market. And the issue is, quite often when you get these parts price spikes, quite often you get an idea when it might end, because it might be like a temporary thing. You know, so if it's like a material shortage, you might get an idea when it's going to end. With this though, I mean, realistically, AI is going nowhere. So when is this going to end? For me, myself, I'm just glad that I got my PC when I did, because I should get a couple of more years out of this before I need to upgrade, and hopefully by then things have settled. But now, speaking of AI, yeah, now we fight the Phantasy Star AI. AI is here to stay, smells the same as NFTs are here to stay, smells the same as crypto is here to stay. I mean, crypto's still here. I mean, it's not doing as well as it used to, but it's still technically there. I wish it wasn't. NFTs, I mean, I'm so happy to see the downfall of NFTs. I never understood the idea behind them. I thought it was stupid. It was basically just a scheme to make people rich. Well, we've destroyed AI now, so I guess we solved that problem. Still no boxes. AI is a scheme to get people rich. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. We did it. Yeah, we did it. We cleared less than half of tower. We did destroy AI, so the RAM prices are now going to go down. You can thank us later. GG team. I must have got better as we played because I started dying less and less. But yeah, I mean, I'd like to think that prices will come down eventually, but I just don't see it anytime soon. I guess for the time being, just look out for deals that might get you some RAM at the price that it used to be. So assuming that this is 100 floors, we basically cleared just under half of it. So I guess next time we play PSU, maybe we can finish the rest. Yeah, I don't need to buy escapes anymore now. I think we've stopped dying. But yeah, I'm so glad that other people feel the same way about AI. It's really, really getting on my nerves. All this for RGR boost. And some boxes at the end. I mean, I hope there's a lot of boxes at the end. Maybe it'll give me an SGS at the end. I will say, I think for the most part, it doesn't really feel that rewarding, this quest so far. I know we've had a few U+ drops, but you don't really fight that many enemies because the floors are fairly small. So I don't know. I think it's a cool idea, but I'm not totally convinced on it yet. We didn't even touch on AI and energy prices of the environment either. I mean, yeah, that is the other big issue, isn't it? Yeah, the fact these data centers are having to get built all over the place and just the amount of energy they take to power is ridiculous. Yeah, I would much rather be without AI, but I think at least for the time being, I think we're stuck with it, unfortunately. I will just try to use it as least as possible. I think Clem needs to fix how drops and quests work in this game. I think one of the issues is that I think a lot of the items in this game tend to come from end boxes. And because there's no end boxes in this quest, it just feels like you don't really get anything. This is something I want to say about on Discord. Yeah, sure. On that subject, if you haven't joined the Discord already, we do have a Discord. Feel free to go and join it. Thank you for the segue. But yeah, I think we'll probably end it there for today, I think. A pretty cool quest. I think maybe needs a bit of tinkering with, but maybe next time we do PSU, we'll try and clear it. Plan for next week, just as a reminder, Wednesday will be the Front Mission 3 stream, which will also be my birthday stream, to try and take my mind away from the fact that I'm going to be 40, which I really don't like the idea of. So what better way to try and ignore that than play some old retro games? And then on the weekend, we will either do Phantasy Star Zero or PSO. It kind of depends on if the Affinia Christmas event gets announced. If it does, we'll do PSO. If it doesn't, we'll do Zero. Yeah, whatever you're doing, have a great week. I'll see you guys on Wednesday for the next stream. As usual, if you have enjoyed the stream, please consider either liking, subscribing, or join as a member on YouTube if you want to. Follow or sub on Twitch. You can follow my X on my Bluesky. And again, we also do have a Discord server you can join, so that should be either in the description on YouTube, or it should be underneath the video player on Twitch. So yeah, feel free to join us over there as well. I want to show my new characters on Zero. I need to make some more characters than that at some point. Yeah, whatever you're doing, have a great week, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Thank you for the very creepy Risa laugh. See you guys.